Are you ready to find out why your first hire for a virtual assistant will probably fail? In this video, I'm going to dive through a few uncomfortable truths that a lot of people usually find out or figure out when it comes to hiring a virtual assistant and how you can avoid it as well. Now, the first thing is that you don't actually know who you want or what you want. Like, what are the things that actually needs to be delegated within your business? What kind of assistant do you need in the first place? So one of the first things that I walk a lot of our clients through into XU is what we call an 80-20 assessment, is we go through what their day typically looks like and what is needed for them to just show up. When you're just starting your business, your main thing, especially when you're under a certain amount, is to make money, is to basically to keep the lights on, to keep things going within your business. And if one of the first things that you're delegating to an assistant is your sales, is your outreach, without you having a clear look or view of what that looks like for you, you're going to fail, because you're probably going to be delegating the wrong things to your assistant that actually stops you from growing your business. And the worst part is you might be flipping the switch, where instead of growing your business, you're delegating the growth things to your assistant and you're running the business. And it should be the other way around. So that's the first thing, is you need to have that clarity. Out of the 10 things that you're doing in a day, what are the 2 things that actually grow your business, and then delegating the rest. That's why it's called the 80-20 principle or the Pareto principle. It's finding out what is that 20% that actually creates 80% of the results, but what is still the 80% of the work that needs to get done to get the rest of the results. And that's why you probably hear a lot that one of the first things you want to delegate is anything that's recurring, because these are tasks that doesn't really necessarily need to be done by you, your daily, weekly, monthly tasks, and anything that's kind of on a schedule, because it's easy to give to someone else and be able to delegate it correctly, rather than delegating them the things that are still in progress within your business. You're giving them something that will be easy for them to take over right off the bat. What that means, instead of delegating, make sure that my inbox is clear, make sure that anything that needs responding to is already drafted up or sent to them. You're delegating, hey, well, take care of this email, take care of this, make sure that you're just watching this. You're delegating the task and not the outcome, and you're not giving enough a clear view of what that outcome also looks like. So instead of saying, hey, I want you to go ahead and create this one social media post, you'll give them the context of like, hey, I need a social media post that's engaging, that'll create this outcome. You're giving the assistant or the person that you're hiring and you're working with enough ramp to be able to know what they're supposed to be doing and what they're supposed to be looking out for, instead of just letting them fall off the cliff because you just kind of gave them one-off things and you end up doing a lot of them yourself anyway. Next is you're skipping documentation. And this is a mistake that I see so many times, where they don't even have a system for their assistant to follow and just expect their assistant to pick things up. Now, yes, you can hire someone and then start building the documentation with them. In fact, that's what we recommend. But if you don't even have some sort of clear process in your day-to-day, again, you're kind of setting up your assistant to fail. You're not giving them a chance to be able to show up and show you that they can actually do the things they do day to day, if you have the clarity basically on what it is they actually do from day to day. So having documentation, even if it's just a recording of how you do certain tasks, even if it's just a checklist, even if it's just a step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even just as a little bit of a walkthrough for them, gives them a better opportunity to be able to follow that system, improve on it, brainstorm on it. But it starts with you as the entrepreneur setting up the stage on what those processes look like. Next is you expect instant ROI, which will hurt you and your assistant by a lot, especially when it comes to money being involved in it. Yes, you're hiring them. Yes, you're paying them. Yes, you're taking care of them, making sure that they have money to be able to buy food and other essentials. But you have to keep in mind that just like any investment, your hire won't pan out just instantly, especially if you don't know, again, you don't have the clarity on the tasks, you don't have the clarity on the systems that need to be built, what that looks like. You basically will have this grandiose vision of how your assistant will just instantly know what to do within your business without giving them context of what your business does. So you have to keep in mind that your assistant probably won't give you that direct ROI within the first 30 or 60 days. It'll probably be around right before the 90-day mark that it'll start understanding it and getting it, how your business works and how their work impacts it. But again, it starts with that clarity on tasks and on systems. Another reason they'll fail is you still cling to control. And I understand it. I get it. My book, Scale Fail You was originally titled Outsourcing for Control Freaks, because that's one of the very common things that I have noticed when it comes to a lot of entrepreneurs is, since it's our baby, since it's our thing that we started from scratch when no one else believed in it, we're a little bit protective, we're a little bit just like mama bear, like I want to take care of this and make sure nothing goes wrong with my business, right? And understand. But when you're hiring someone, especially when it's your first assistant, they are not you. They won't have the context of you, they won't have the background of you, they won't have your skills, your context, whatever that looks like for you. So you do have to give a little bit of a leeway to not be as micromanaging as you want to be. So what that means is be able to set opportunities up for them to bring things up, to give feedback, to receive feedback, and you're also giving them space to make mistakes, because you made mistakes when you started this business and they probably will too, just because again, they don't have the same brain as you, they don't have the same context as you as a human being, as an entrepreneur, or else they would be doing this business on their own. They don't need to get hired by someone like you. So when it comes to working with your assistant, getting that first hire in, kind of learn how to separate you and your person and your assistant, because again, they're not you and they should not be expected to think and act and do things as you, especially in those first 30, 60, 90 days, because they just don't have enough context of what's going on. Next is you don't train on the why things need to get done or things are getting done. So again, this is going back to that little lack of context of why certain things in the business get done the way that they do. When I was first training my assistant, I would give her the why every single time. That way she was able to build the puzzle pieces in her head of why 2XU work the way that it does. So for example, when we're onboarding clients, we send them a book, the 1 Minute Manager, to onboard them. And of course, I would give the context to my assistant of like, this book actually makes it easier for our clients to be able to work with their assistants, especially for Filipino assistants, on how to give them feedback. So that's why we always send them this book. So it's not just saying like, hey, well, can you get this done? Like, hey, this is why we do this, because then that goes back to, you know, our mission, our vision, our goal, whatever that looks like for you, whatever it is that makes your life easier, because this thing is actually getting done. And speaking of the 1 Minute Manager, one of the reasons why a first hire usually fails is you don't build a successful feedback loop. What that means, and what the 1 Minute Manager book teaches us, is you want to be able to learn how to give a 1 minute praise, 1 minute redirect, and 1 minute goal setting. So what it is when your assistant does something right, you praise them for it. You show them like, hey, I appreciate the work that you did here. You're encouraging that behavior, so then of course they do it again. And honestly, as a business owner, we underestimate how much our praise and feedback means to our people, especially when they feel like they've just been going at it blind during that first 30, 60, 90 days. So giving them that 1 minute praise really helps. If they're doing something wrong, or if they've done something wrong, it's just a little bit 1 minute redirect. It's showing them like, hey, this is kind of what you did wrong, and this is what I encourage in the future. So you're redirecting them back to the path, and then showing them the path a little bit, so then they can keep going that way instead of the other way that you did not want them to go. And lastly, the 1 minute goal setting is essentially just making sure that you guys are aligned when it comes to the goals of the business and where they're at as well. It's making sure that you guys are actually making progress instead of just kind of running on steam. You're actually running on solid ground on keeping things going, and you guys are online on what actually needs to get done. And lastly, one of the reasons why your first hire just won't work out is you're not investing in their growth. Within 2XU, one of the things that we always advertise, and is actually true to a T, is that every single virtual assistant that gets hired in 2XU is giving this series of courses and books and videos that they can study to upskill themselves while in 2XU. So whatever that looks like, if we hired someone as an admin assistant and they want to become an operations assistant, we're buying them courses, we're giving them books, they're getting a certification for a Lean Six Sigma for project management so they can learn that. We're investing in how they can grow themselves beyond, because honestly nowadays when it comes to working with people, it's not really enough to just have them kind of peg-holed in one role. You want to see them as evolving and growing, just like how you're evolving and growing as a business owner. If you have your assistant kind of stuck in that one place and you're not looking for ways to grow them or upskill them, you're probably going to have a person who will just accept the bare minimum and not do anything above it. So investing in them opens up their minds, more opportunities to be able for them to grow within the business, as well as kind of keeps them engaged in the things that you guys are doing and the things that you're growing and working on, and not having them again just stuck in that one place. Now, if you want to make sure that your first hire doesn't fail, make sure to book a call with us at 2XU. We'll go through and run you through the 80/20 assessment to see where you're at when it comes to working with an assistant. And if you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button right there. Comment below any questions you might have when it comes to having your first hire. And if you still haven't yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos every Thursday on how to grow your business with AI. And if you want your assistant to study more things on how to grow their career or themselves as a virtual assistant with AI, check out my main channel here. And of course, check out the latest video right here. I hope you guys have an amazing, fantastic day. And remember that small steps matters. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.